This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Don't shake that vibe.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
It's not often I'll cut off a Drake track. But due to time restraints, I thought it'd be necessary.
Yeah.
Apologize to Drake.
Sorry.
But he's probably getting the biggest publishing checks out of any rapper in the game. He's going to be okay.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Drake is
OMG.
good. OMG, right? Yeah, okay. See, Penn, you start saying stuff like OMG, man.
I
you
did it.
know,
Oh my God, I did.
Come on,
I
man.
wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
This is the 2015 OMG.
Yeah, man. But when you
not.
when you hear OMG, Penn Badgley is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
And I told him today I wasn't gonna bring up Gossip Girl. Because everybody knows that in my heart I'm just a little teenage girl from the suburbs. You know.
Yeah.
Skipping around in your little cute skirt.
Don't go that far.
Sorry,
I never had a skirt on. This is the spirit. I have
All
the
right.
spirit of a teenage girl.
The spirit of a suburban.
Because I like shows like Charmed, and I like shows like Gossip Girl,
Yeah.
and I like to watch this stuff, Lifetime Channel, and those sort of things. And when I first met Dan Humphrey, aka Penn Badgley,
Wow.
All right.
I feel like I knew him, and he's here with us right now, man. What's up, Penn?
How you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm really doing well. I'm enjoying life.
That's good.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think no one's ever asked me how I'm doing
Nah, nobody.
in an interview.
Don't be
none of
checking
your
on
guests, they come in, they're like, yeah, I'm great.
Anything else you want to ask me, Pam, while we're here?
I mean, how, as a child, where do you think you developed this penchant for all these women's shows? Maybe.
Penn, that's a great question.
That's a good question.
It all started.
It all started, I think, let me see, some of the first stuff. I used to like Laura Ingalls from Little
Really?
House of the Prairie.
Really?
Yeah, and, something about the life she lived. Dun, dun,
Simple?
dun, dun. Simple. She used to run
Out
through
in the
daisy
open.
fields. Yeah,
Yeah.
they used to fish a lot, and so I wanted to be Laura Ingalls. Or I just, as a kid, I had no question about my sexuality.
Yeah, right. No, I mean,
was,
you're that confident that you can just,
be a little
yeah.
white girl.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Running through the poppy fields?
Run through the poppy fields fishing, calling my father Pa.
Yeah. Hating Nellie Olson.
Yeah, Nellie Olson was a bitch. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't even know. I never watched that show. I think I watched it maybe once.
Okay, Penn, thank you for, killing my childhood.
I'm
That's where it probably came from,
I'm
man.
sorry.
But what about you, man? I mean, what made you decide you wanted to go into acting?
I don't know. I mean, I always loved to perform. I loved to sing initially, actually. I think I told my mom when I was, one of my first sentences was, I want to be a singer on a dancer stage. I loved, I don't know, I loved music. It really was my driving passion. It's what got me into acting. And it got me on stage at a young age, and then it just, kind of took its natural course. I started doing plays, and I started acting professionally at a very young age, too, when I was about 12.
12 years old. What was your
Wow.
first gig?
I think it was, the sitcom Will and Grace.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, I was.
Did he just stun on us?
I-
Do you know the
No, but I was-
sitcom Will and Grace?
I
well?
wasn't Will or Grace. I was
Okay.
just a little like pop-in character there.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. And then it progressed from there. But I think I always was trying to do something creative, even when I didn't understand. Like, I wanted to be quote unquote an artist, but that was what I wanted to be. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved all the arts really, and like I said, music was sort of the catalyst for it.
Music was the catalyst to it. So here, this is interesting, Heather, because music in many ways is the catalyst for Heather B, who eventually became first reality TV star on Real World and Oprah and all movies, and for me it was music. And
Yeah.
so now you're juggling between being an actor and being a musician, or is it all the same to you?
I mean, I think like at its purest state, it's kind of all the same, but it's not when you're talking about the business side of things, the business element. They inform each other, but it's like it is a bit different, I mean, what it is to perform on stage, to learn how to do that, do it well, do it casually. It's very. I mean, I came from being a consummate professional in front of the camera, not really needing to think about anything technical, to being on stage and being like, what does this plug do? You know,
Yeah.
and I actually have a bit of a technical setup where I'm playing guitar, I have a pedal board, and I'm doing vocal effects in live time with delay and all this kind of stuff. So it's like it was a little much for me in the beginning, but now that I'm getting the hang of it and the band we're developing our live dynamic, it's actually it's a really amazing experience.
The name of the band is Mother?
Mother, yeah, spelled with an X.
With the X, where the E would go.
Yeah, MOTHXR.
Okay. We're going to talk about the
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
All right. How many instruments do you play? Or you just play the...
I kind of play a smattering of a lot of things, but I'm not a master of any. In the band, I'm primarily the singer.
The singer?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so... Wow, this is interesting, right? So I didn't know Dan Humphrey could sing. This is what I want to do. So you got the band Mother. You got a song called Victim. Mm-hmm. You write too?
Yeah.
So
I mean, we all as a band write these
write
songs.
together?
I do write my own stuff as well.
Okay. Penn Badgley is here.
Yes.
Do you get a different type of gratification when you do a role like posthumous in Cymbeline than you do when you're on stage and you get the reaction from the crowd?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think at its purest state, if you really have those moments where you're like kind of brushing shoulders with the strange mystery of like art, then it's all kind of the same. You get this, the reward is the same at the end of the day. But it is different. Like, I mean, acting in a film, for instance, you're like you stumble into the good take. Mm-hmm. And you only need to do it once, really.
Right.
Yeah.
You can like stumble around and just not get it the whole time, and then you get one, and you could win an Oscar theoretically.
Yeah.
Whereas being on stage, I think as an actor as well, but then as a musician too, being on stage, it's you're doing the same thing every night, and you need to find new things in it. You're perfecting it, and I don't know. I mean, my respect for all the musicians I've loved growing up has grown tenfold since I started performing, because it's just this different beast.
Yeah.
You're kind of being yourself, but it is a performance. It is an act.
It ain't easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, having that presence and and the energy and I don't know. It's you're giving a lot. You're giving a lot, and crowds these days don't like to move. They really don't like to
They like
move.
to stare.
Yeah, they just
filming.
stare. They just have their phones out and they're looking at you through their phone, and it's it sometimes I mean, I remember we played a show in Paris and it was packed. It was this tiny little club that we packed out, and they all, I mean, I had like young French girls asking me to take my shirt off, which felt I was just like, man, I'm almost 30 years old. This is
yeah. That's what he said. I'm almost 30. That's cute, Penn. That's cute.
But
Oh, 29. Oh, geez, man, you over the hill.
Yeah.
Geez, man, 30s. You great, man. You're in a great time. You're
I
still
know,
a millennial,
I'm,
bro.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is great is being a man in this business. You got like nothing but time.
Yeah.
Don't you think, though, as on the music side, as an artist, so many bands or artists switch their songs when people go see them live because they're tired of performing the same thing every night. But as a fan, I want to see you do the song like I know it.
Yeah.
Why do artists do that?
We'll answer that question when we come back.
All right.
And right now we're going to play Victim.
Yeah.
This is by Mother. Get their music. Search them. If you don't know who they are, it's Penn Badgley and his crew. Mother, Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. Give us a call. You want to talk with Penn. Penn Badgley is here. That's his group. It's called Mother. You spell Mother with an X. That song is called Victim. Really enjoyed that.
Thanks, man.
It's a moody song.
Yeah, the vibe is strong.
The vibe is strong. And then that sax right there.
Yeah,
You don't hear a sax in a lot of music nowadays.
that was a special one when we brought him in. That was just like, it was a good moment.
It's a great moment. The mix was incredible. Who mixed that?
Same dude who
played the
sax.
Yeah, you need to keep him on your
Yeah,
team.
no, he's on the team. He's on the team.
Yeah, so somewhat the people may not understand. A lot of hip hop artists sometimes bypass the mix, but Dr. Dre showed people how important it is to mix your songs properly. It can make the difference between a hit or not, and your songs sound good, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, my close friend Jimmy Giannopoulos is the producer, and he's, he and Tim Sandusky, who played the sax and mastered the record, They're very much as far as mixing goes, they're a duo, and they're definitely going to keep doing what they're doing. And you heard of Lola Wolf?
Yeah.
So Jimmy produced Lola Wolf as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How you know that? Like, how did you get with these folks? You're busy acting. And,
that's Zoe Kravitz's band.
Okay.
And I used to date Zoe. And
shit.
I actually met I met Jimmy through
Why
her.
you getting all in his business, Sway? Kim was like, I thought we was cool, Sway.
I mean, that is how I met Jimmy, and so we've all remained close throughout the years and make music.
Is that what Victim is all about?
No.
Yo, how you screw up with Zoe, dude? I mean, jeez, that's Zoe Kravitz.
Oh man, it's things, life.
Yeah.
Life.
The
river bends.
The
river bends. Yeah.
Changes and
Keeps
chapters.
going,
Changes and chapters, right?
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that, man. I salute you. We got Nicole on the line from DC. Penn Badgley is here. Nicole, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Nicole.
I'm fine. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Sway. Hey, everybody. Hey, Heather.
What's up, man?
I really like this song. I've never heard you before. It's very melodic. Your voice. I really, really like this song. I have to really check you out.
Thank you.
Nicole, you know, he was in movies like John Tucker Must Die, Easy A, Stepfather, Gossip Girl. Did you watch Gossip Girl?
Which you may have heard
Yeah,
of.
yeah. I'm
Maybe.
sure. I'm sure if I see his face, I'm sure I remember. But his name, just sorry.
He was the hipster that moved to Brooklyn with the beard, Dan Humphrey.
You're confusing reality.
What? I'm sorry. That's who he is today. But thank you for your call, Nicole. She download this song, Victim?
Yeah, it's on Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud.
All right. Now, Cymbeline is the movie that's in theaters today, right?
Yes. That's
Okay.
right.
And I remember being in junior high school and reading a lot of Shakespeare, Othello, and different plays. And I remember reading Cymbeline, and correct me if I'm wrong. Cymbeline was a king, and you played a role of Posthumus, who pretty much had an affair with Cymbeline's daughter.
Yes.
Which was named Imogen.
Although you know what, in some of them she is called Inogen. It's a strange, like, I don't know. Some versions it's INN. Some of them it's IM.
IM, right? Okay. When the version I read, this is a long time ago. It's still INN probably. Wasn't as long ago as Shakespeare wrote it.
I can't believe you can remember the story because it's so convoluted.
Well, I remember it because I had a teacher named Miss Nakaui, who insisted that kids who grew up in Oakland read Shakespeare, and so I was always fascinated by literature, and Shakespeare was such a challenge to to really understand what the hell he meant.
Right.
It was so many double entendres and
everything.
And the king Cymbeline found out about the affair, right?
And banishes
your character,
my character Posthumus, to where, I mean, it's in the film it's this indistinct kind of like industrial wasteland, but basically banishes him from the kingdom. And in this, the kingdom is just sort of like basically turf that as a modern day drug lord he owns. So, and that's played by Ed Harris. Ed Harris is King Cymbeline. So he's sort of like he's a benevolent drug lord.
A benevolent drug. Yeah. So when is it placed? Is it now?
Now-ish. It's kind of it's trying to be, because the thing is that the Cymbeline, the play itself, is actually very bizarrely placed in 3 different timelines of ranging about 300 years.
Okay.
That's another element of this that, like, it's the play is absurd. It's weird. It's definitely weird. It's got this epic scope and it's all over the place. But yes, it's now.
It's now?
Ish.
Ethan Hawke is in it, Heather B.
Good friend of the show.
Yeah, almost got that Oscar for Boyhood.
Got that Oscar.
He's on the brink, right?
Nomination's all that counts.
That's all that counts is a nomination. Is that something, because you're not going to get nominated with, John Tucker Must Die and Gossip Girl. You're not going to, of course. But is as an actor, is that the aim at some point for people to because you do a lot of mainstream films, but this isn't that.
No, this is not that, and I don't think I'll be doing a lot of mainstream films. Who knows? I think the future is untold, and it's like. But as far as something like the recognition of an Oscar or any award, I do believe that on on one hand, while the recognition would be appreciated for anybody, I do think that like to call it like it is, they're not terribly. I don't think they are what they once were. I don't think anything is in that sense. I think it's like, to me, the idea that basically the same 24 people get nominated every year, and it's like oh, this is the best movie of the year?
Yeah.
What about all the thousands of movies made this year that don't have Brad Pitt in them?
Yeah.
what? And I mean, it's like, kudos to Brad Pitt. I don't think nobody's frowning at him. I mean, people like that are doing their work, and if they get nominated, that's not really up to them. But I mean, I do think it's a bit of a, I mean, the diversity of the Academy is almost non-existent. I mean, like, the percentage of like basically old white men in it is staggering.
Yeah.
Staggering.
Yeah.
So
it's scary.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, to be recognized by that is not really important.
Okay.
To me,
it'll be great,
stage.
but if it doesn't happen, you're not going to lose any sleep.
Right.
Okay, that's fair enough. Penn Badgley is here. I can't be mad at that. We see that with the Grammys.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, all of them. Yeah. And it's like, how could we expect much more? I'm not going to hate on anyone, but.
Yeah. Okay. I like that, man. Jeremy is on the line from my hometown of Oakland, so I know this is going to be a great question. Go ahead, Jeremy. Yeah. I'm headed out there today, by the way. I'll be there this weekend. Go ahead.
106 Cameo.
All right. Hey, Jeremy, what's your question for Penn, man? Go ahead.
Hey, no question, man.
He just wants to talk to you.
That music was kind of cool, kind of kicking back, feeling it, listening to what he was saying, and, keep doing what you're doing, and you're keeping it up. I like it. I like the beat. I like the saxophone. And I like you, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
He's from Oakland. That's
Yo,
good.
the baby chilling.
Yeah, they chill. He probably got something in the air. I'm sure he's
probably
smoking something to a victim right now. Go ahead, DB.
I just had one question about the movie, because I remember when Romeo and Juliet came out with Claire Danes and DiCaprio, and even though that was set in modern times, they still had the language of the original piece.
Yeah, this is like that.
And exactly, this is one that still has the language of the original Shakespeare piece. So were you at all concerned, because I know you talked about how people don't even, they have a short attention span these days with just listening to your music.
Right.
Do you think that that's also transferring into when they see movies like this, even though they recognize the actors, you've got some big names in there, but the it's kind of hard to follow when you're just like sitting there.
Definitely. That's a huge thing. I think like that's why it was really hard to get funding for this movie. That's why we had to shoot it in 20 days. It's I wouldn't call it a problem. I'd just say it's a hurdle. But this is the kind of movie that I think that people will find years from now and be like, huh. This is not something that's going to be selling out tonight. It's in one theater, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But the cast is the kind of thing where you'll find it later. And that's I think all anybody's hoping for.
What's her name? Mila Jovovich.
I think it's Jovovich.
Is it Jovovich?
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know you pronounced the J.
You know what? I think if you pronounced it like the way she does, wherever that name is from, I think you don't, but I've heard Jovovich.
Yeah, man. Man, I go back to the original origins of the words.
I know.
I don't know where you at with it, Penn, but
That is crazy.
Man, Djokovic, all right.
Go back all the way to the Little House on the Prairie.
Jovovich, Chokovich, whatever, man. No, I'm just big fan of hers, man. Little House in the Prairie, I heard that. Okay. All right, listen. Well, Penn, thanks for coming by. You guys check out the movie. And what theater is it in?
It's playing at the Quad here, which is like, a tried and true New York icon, like staple. Real filmy place.
Will it be on demand down the line?
You know what? I think it's on demand today.
Oh, shit. I'll watch it on my couch.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool, man.
That's even better.
All right. We want to thank our guests for coming by, too. Today, we had Reef the Street on the Beats. Tweezy was one of the MCs. Physics was one of the MCs. And John Hope was one of the MCs.
Yes.
Also, DJ Secco for coming through.
Yes.
Doing a guest mix. Who we got on Monday's show from the show Empire? Jesse Smollett. And Bryce Gray will be here.
Nice.
Did you watch Empire at all?
No, I don't watch a lot of TV because I've been on it so long.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Sorry, no. That's not a dig. That's not a dig. I just don't. Yeah, I don't have
Penn.
interest.
I love
man.
Penn. Penn, I did a cameo on that, man. I didn't get a cameo on Gossip Girl, so I got it on Empire.
I know. I
man.
would have loved to have you on
Yeah,
Gossip
that'd
Girl.
been great, man. Shoot, me and Blair.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So anyway, so we're gonna have two of the actors from Empire. Who else do we have on Monday?
Kavajane Wallace. She played Annie. She'll be stopping by.
Oh man, she is so talented.
She's very, very talented.
So talented.
Little powerhouse there. So
Yeah.
she'll be by as well.
All right.
Wow.
And,
That's great. That's gonna be better than me, to be honest.
Well,
That's sick. That's great.
If you ever go into the Zoe dating conversation, oh man, you're gonna kill him, bro. How many years ago was that, by the way?
2, I guess 2.
So that wasn't that long. Are the wounds still open?
No, I mean two's a while.
That's a while?
Two's a while when you're my age, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You get over it, right?
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.